Welcome back to part 5 of our installation of Grafana and Zabbix server. We're going to get started. Head on over to your Zabbix server, log in, and go to monitoring and dashboard. Just look at some of the problems that may be up on your machines. So what we're wanting to do is reflect what's being displayed in Zabbix in Grafana. So just get a feel for what kind of problems that are being monitored, and if they're being monitored in Zabbix, you should also see those in Grafana. Let's do another import. This time it's going to be for an individual node, and we'll get all the details of that set up here. So when I imported this, nothing was connected quite right, so I'm going to show you what you need to do to get that data to come through as it should. That first panel is just about some text and information about the node. You can put in whatever you want. For example, your public key, maybe the first few characters of that to help you identify your node. One of the things that I'm changing here is the group, and so by default that template had it in a group that doesn't actually exist here. So I changed the group and the name of the node. Let's get our memory data working. And so as soon it should have an automated drop-down menu in each one of these categories. It should auto-populate. So you can just click on the appropriate one. Here's our hard drive disk space. You can monitor how much of that's been used up and how much is left. So here, changing the group and host name didn't work. We actually had to go get the proper item name. It was still listing the item name along with the old node that was listed for that piece. Click on Query Inspector, and you can go ahead and run the data. You can go ahead and get a list of the data points that are being fed from that item. So you can see that the status was unknown for a while, then it was switched to observer, which is what it was, and then during that process of those data points, it did become a validator. Make sure you click save every time you make a change that you want to keep, because this dashboard does not save automatically. Green check marks are good. So one piece here is, depending on which XML you selected earlier when you imported that template into Zabbix, there's a 4.2 and a 5. The 5.0 doesn't really recognize that symbol of /.**. 4.2 did, but it seems that 5 didn't. So you may have to play around with that depending which XML you uploaded. You may find that you want to use the template 4.2 because it will still work, but for this example we use the 5.0. So what you would get instead is, instead of each one being listed, node 711, node 712, you could get, you wouldn't have a description underneath each one of those. Though you may be able to configure that on the individual panel to not list each one out. This concludes our tutorial. Thank you for tuning in. Leave a comment if you have any questions about this series.